take a look at this style from Berghaus. It's the Berghaus Choktoi Windstopper, Gore Windstopper Fleece. As the name suggests, this is all about keeping the wind off you. On a really cold, blustery day, this is hard to beat. It's using the Gore Windstopper technology, which is arguably the best out there. Certainly, probably the market leader. It works by way of a membrane, a Gore membrane that is sandwiched between the inner and the outer of the fleece. So basically, it stops the air getting through the fleece, so it makes it completely windproof. Not just wind resistant, but windproof. Now, I'll talk at the end about who this is really primarily aimed at, but I want to take a look at some of the features of the fleece. Now, first of all, since this is a wind block fleece, very much a standalone piece that you're going to maybe be wearing on its own, Berghaus have reinforced the top part here around the shoulders, and as you can see around the back as well, also down here, with a stretchy soft shell material, a bit more abrasion resistant obviously, and they're thinking very much there in terms of giving a little bit of added durability and protection against rucksack straps. Also, again, with this idea in mind of this being a more technical hill walking fleece where you're going to be using a rucksack, you'll notice here the pockets are up here, Napoleon pockets, rather than the standard traditional sort of fleece type pockets, which are down about here, the hand warmer pockets. They're up here because obviously if you're wearing a pack or a rucksack, the hip belt will interfere with the pockets if they were here and would block access to them. So you get them up here so you can get at them unimpeded. The pockets themselves act as venting, or act, as you see, they're mesh lined, so you will be able to vent a certain amount of heat out of the jacket. Wind block fleeces, particularly this one, are very, very warm, so that's a useful feature. You also get the zip pocket, chest pocket here, which is quite a substantial pocket. Again, it has the fleece lining. If we come down to the wrist, you can see here you've got a shaped wrist. It's slightly slanted, or quite noticeably slanted. There's a reason for that. This part of the hand here between the wrist and the tops of the knuckles is the part where you lose a lot of heat from. So you have a very high concentration of blood vessels near the skin there, so you can lose a lot of heat from there. So there's a nice little touch from Berghaus when you put the fleece on, which you really need to do to appreciate this. The natural shape, or the fleece rather, will follow the natural shape of your arm and hand, and will give you a little bit of added protection here, which is very important to keep the extremities functioning. You've also got this very useful cuff here, which acts as a barrier, both to obviously wind getting up through, and also more importantly it helps to retain the heat inside the fleece. That's a very useful feature. You see it in a lot of ski jackets. I think it should be in a lot more jackets. It looks a bit odd there hanging, but you know, once that's on, it's very comfortable to wear. What else? You can also, even taking a look at the way this is constructed, you see the way that jacket, it's not just a standard sort of thrown together affair. You've got it, it's actually ergonomically shaped to move with your body. So, you know, Berghaus have put a lot of thought into this. This is a very, very well crafted piece of kit. Even here you have this, the nice baffle here again, which contains the wind block membrane as well, down behind the zip. Okay. What else to say? Well, oh yes, you've got the ability to cinch the jacket in again with the toggles. Again, that's all about keeping the heat in. Now, a few years ago, wind block fleeces, when they first came out, they were like cardboard. They've changed immeasurably since then. They're much more comfortable to wear now. This fabric, you'd still notice it different to you know, a fluffy fleece. It's almost got a velour type finish to it, but it's, you know, it's really very soft, but also very durable. In here you have this nice grid effect, again, sort of liner fleece, which helps to retain heat, and it's also very comfortable to wear. So who is this aimed primarily at? Well, this fleece works best on a really cold Baltic day with the wind blowing at you, and on a, you know, in those conditions, this is just about the best fleece type jacket you could possibly have on. It's absolutely brilliant. It will block it out and keep you warm. Now, there's a downside to wearing a windblock fleece. Obviously, it blocks the air from getting in. It's very effective in retaining heat, but it's not, you know, they're not as breathable as a standard fleece. So you will need to use this venting from time to time. It's also important to remember that if you're going to be using this for anything active like hill walking or anything like that, just, you know, to dress accordingly. Remember, you know, the layering system and all that. This is a very warm garment. So if the weather's milder, it's really not the best piece maybe to think of for doing anything really active. The weather does need to be pretty cold for this to be worn. To be honest, you'll heat up quite quickly in it if in milder weather. So just be aware of that. It's a real cold weather piece. It's great, as I say, standing around watching the rugby, anything sedentary like that, day-to-day use in really cold, windy conditions. It's absolutely perfect. So there you go. Price-wise, it's £140. That's not bad for what you're getting. It's a very tough, durable fleece because it's Berghaus. As I said, it's well designed. There's a lot of nice little touches to it, some of which we've mentioned. It's a great fit. It's just a fantastic standalone garment. So if you're into this kind of thing, if you like the idea of a windblock fleece, this is as good as it gets. It's pretty good value, actually, to be honest, at that price. We used to run the Jack Wolfskin Blizzard. I don't know if you remember it. It was way up nearly £200 last time I looked. So this is quite good value at 140 quid. I'm sure we'll probably organise you a bit of discount. We don't have many of these. It's quite a specialised piece. So if you're interested, give us a shout. The Berghaus Choktoi Gore Windstopper Fleece. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant piece of kit. There you go.